Hi, everybody. This is Sean from the Grove Theater, and welcome to Conversations from the Grove. I'm very excited because today we will be chatting with Jennifer Harding. Jennifer, thank you for joining us. Jen will be a company member at the Grove this summer. And to kick things off, I was wondering if you could sort of just walk us through what you will be doing this summer at the Grove. You're wearing a couple different hats this year, so I'm just kind of
Yeah.
what exactly will you be doing?
Okay. Well, yeah, as you say, it's a bit of a fun new adventurous season. Hi, I'm Jen. And I'm going to be rejoining the team at the Grove this year, this time as Vi Petty in the Buddy Holly story. And I will be singing in the Broadway tribute and a couple of the tributes. And I've been able to kind of help out a little on our Canadian Legends show, which has been an absolute blast. So I'm getting some behind the scenes info as to how it kind of all goes together and getting to be a part of it as a performer and kind of an extra set of hands off stage as well, which is very cool. Very cool for me.
With the Canadian Legends, you're also a co-creator of the show, which has been putting the script together and putting all the songs. So thank you for all the work that you've done on that. It's been great to work on it with you.
Oh, I've had such a blast. My background when I was living in the UK, a lot of the work that I did was creating tribute and production shows and large scale event entertainment, which has that same kind of fast paced, high energy, high octane kind of performance quality that these tribute shows lend themselves to. I'm just pumped to be able to bring some new stuff to it and also join in the party, you know?
I love it. Speaking of sort of your work at the UK, I'm wondering if you just kind of give us just a little bit of an introduction to you as an actor and as a singer. Sort of how long have you been doing it? How did it start at a young age? I'm always really interested to know sort of how people, kind of when they get bit by the bug or when it starts for them.
Oh, for sure. I think as a lot of us, you find there was really no other thing that we loved quite as much as theater or entertainment and performing. So I feel like I've been doing this since I could walk and talk. My dad was in the entertainment business for a really long time and also played in bands. So I grew up side of stage, on stage with a little microphone, and I've been performing most of my life. I moved to the UK, moved to England in about 2012, primarily to work in musicals. And so I worked on shows like Mamma Mia and Legally Blonde, Funny Girl, Copacabana, Night of the Living Dead. I did some pretty fun different things. My theater bug has been a varied insect, as it were. I love everything to do with the theater. I love classical text and I love really weird contemporary art and I like immersive theater and I love musicals. I love them. So my background as sort of a classical actor has shifted my work much more into musicals, and somewhere in between, we've met here. And I moved back to my home here in the Kawartha Lakes in Buckhorn, Ontario. We moved back in 2020, so the height of the pandemic, to build our home in the woods. So I have been really, really lucky to find sort of my groove as a performer and also as a mom and here at home. So that's me.
You talk about being in the UK and then coming back home to Buckhorn and in the Kawartha Lakes area. I'm just wondering if you can talk a little bit about kind of what that transition was like, what it's like to be back home, but also kind of what it is to be a professional actor in the theater. I mean, there's a lot of traveling, there's a lot of bouncing back and forth. I know that
Sure.
you just finished a big production of Frozen at the Citadel in Edmonton. I would love to hear a little bit about kind of what that lifestyle is like.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that there are these massive shifts that happen as you evolve. I don't want to say get older, but evolve as a human. And one of them was when I became a mom. I ended up getting pregnant, and I was in the middle of a show in the UK, and my intention was to kind of just keep going, just, you know, have a baby, carry her on stage. I didn't really think about all the details. I just thought, well, I'll just do both. And fortunately for me, I guess the pandemic hit, and my little girl was born March 15th, 2020. So the first day of lockdown in the UK, and the world, the industry stopped. It stopped. And I was gifted this opportunity to see what it would be like to be at home, maybe not tour, you know, every month of the year, and sit down with my family, and I really liked it. So it grew on me a lot. And so going back to becoming a performer was very much intermingled or intertwined with being a mom. And the priorities just shift. So when I'm looking at taking a contract now, the things that go into it are very much, who's with my kids? How long is this contract? Are they able to get to me wherever I am? Am I able to get home to them? Just what's that travel like? Obviously, it has to be a show that I am very interested in doing, because if it's not, it's just not worth it anymore. I had a lot of wonderful experimental theater years where I got to kind of jump around and do whatever I wanted in theater, and I was very, very lucky. And now the most important thing is the show viable for my mom life? Um, so things like going to Edmonton, it worked. The Citadel, first of all, is obviously this incredible space.
For
Um,
sure, yeah.
and the show Frozen is a beast of a show. It was huge, huge show. I think just a just like going to school every day again. Um, but it was incredible also because my partner, my other half, his family is from the Edmonton area. So we were able to kind of make grandma and grandpa trips. They flew out for 3.5 weeks, smack dab in the middle of the contract. Um, I write a lot of notes to people, and probably micromanage the home when I am not there. So I think they were pretty pleased that the time zone meant that they didn't always get a hold of me. Um, but my girls are little, right? My oldest girl is 5 years old, and my youngest is turning 3 in July. So
Wow.
it's just this wonderful balance. And as I have said to you before, a perfectly imbalanced balance at times, right? You go to work and you come home, and it's a different kind of work, and you figure it out, but I'm I'm pretty lucky.
It's great, and what a great show to be doing with kids as well. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
it's so funny. I mean, you could be doing, some sort of classic drama, intense tragedy, but how fun to be able to do a show like that,
Oh, it's nuts. It's
as
absolutely
a
nuts. I
mom.
think for my final, had to give Let It Go a sing. And of course I'm practicing at home, and I hear this little knock on the door, and my 5-year-old comes in and very, very seriously said, "Do you want to borrow my Anna dress for this audition?" And I said, I'll take it. I will take it with me because I have not had a better offer. So, but they were so into it. And this incredible woman who played Elsa and our Anna, these women were just forces. And the girls got to meet them, and they got to hang, and they're just overwhelmed by it's one of those magical things when something from their kind of cartoon fantasy life on TV, all of a sudden it hits them in the face. And but they've had the same experience at the Grove. We've had this amazing ability, especially with the outdoor side of it. They are experiencing theater in a way that, like, I just want every kid to see it. I want that kind of magic to be the thing, you know? We're just so lucky. We're so lucky.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And there's something really special about working in the theater and being a parent
Yeah.
and bringing them to the theater and then getting to sort of see, the backstage world of it. And it's I've always found it's very special and very exciting to be able to sort of to bring my kids to rehearsal and to the theater and to have them have almost a sense of ownership because I'm working on
Yeah.
it. And it's very special.
There's something really, really beautiful about them also seeing, like, not just the finished product, but understanding all of the work that goes into making it, right?
For
Like, it's a
sure,
craft.
yeah.
It's a craft, and they have this instinct because of it that they've seen different parts of the show get built, which I think is amazing.
So, as this is your third season working with the Grove, I'm thrilled to have you back, really. You were with us for the Comedy of Errors, which you
Yes.
were absolutely fantastic. And then last year you were our lead in Into the Woods as the witch. And so we're thrilled to have you back again for Buddy, as well as a co-creator and co-director for the tributes, and to be a part of them as well. I'm wondering, as somebody who's worked sort of all over the place in big theaters and small theaters, if you could talk a little bit about what it is to sort of be at the Grove Theater and the difference between performing and working at the Grove, say, compared to being in the city.
Mm, mm. Um, I mean, the difference is in every aspect of the work at the Grove. The difference between working in a city and coming out to Fenelon Falls to do theater and to do beautiful theater in a beautiful place. Like the differences are visceral. It's everything from the air is different to the pace is different of everything around you. And for me, the fact that there is this wonderful, gorgeous professional theater 35 minutes from where I call home. There's so many beautiful differences for the most part. If you are a working performer of any sort, specifically in Canada, you need to be ready to travel, right? The Canadian theater industry, although beautiful and full of incredible creative life, it doesn't always financially facilitate you staying in one place. Um, so the more theaters that are created in rural environments and the ability to build a an audience base in this kind of space is incredible. And the difference between someone paying, upwards of $300 for a ticket to go see a show and you know take the subway and the buses and cabs and get hotels for the night, and someone that comes to see one of our shows at the Grove and has this almost just experience of the village around and the walk up to the theater. There is just something about creating theater in the country. um Not only creating an audience base so that they are coming back, right? People are coming back, which makes it viable to stay here, right? For artists. It makes our area of Ontario a place where people want to come to make work. And that's very cool. That's something that is very, very new to me. I think when I studied theater, when I trained at my conservatory, the understanding was that you will leave your home. That would be it. And I did. I worked on cruise ships for 6 years almost, back to back, doing production shows. I left there and started making those shows for the ships. And then I went on to musicals and I started doing national tours, international tours. Everywhere you went was in a suitcase. Um, and the fact that we are starting to have more sit down regional summer theater across the province, across the country, is just this incredible thing because it means artists are not packing up every 3 days to head somewhere else. That's a very um, unsettled, obviously, lifestyle. And I think that the kind of theater that you can make when people feel settled and can breathe a little bit, all of a sudden you start making really cool stuff.
I love it. That's fantastic. It's been such an interesting experience to be building the theater company and having the support of the community, and to see it sort of and to see it grow, and there's an ownership that they're very, folks are very proud of it, and
Yeah.
it's a great gathering place too. I mean, I've been coming to this area for years, and you spend the day at the lake, which is lovely, and then it gets dark, and you kind of stay wherever you are. But to have kind of this option of something to go out and do at night with your friends and family and neighbors, it's been really it's been exciting to kind of work on this.
It's so cool. Oh, and also, I mean, what other theater company do I get to strap my paddleboard to the top of my car and between like rehearsals and tech or something, just like go for a paddle out on the lake? When does that ever happen?
Right. I know. I love it.
I get the kids ready for school or camp or whatever it is in the mornings. I do lunches and breakfast. I drop everyone off. I go to rehearsals. My board is strapped on top. And as soon as rehearsals are out, I go right down to the lake and I get a solid 45 minutes of just beautiful chill at the end of the day. And when shows happen, same thing. Get everyone settled for the night, say goodbye, go to the theater, but like stop at the lake first. Go for a little paddle. It's just great.
I love it. That's great. I try to encourage all the company members that come for the summer to really take advantage of being here and
Yeah.
being in nature and the walks and the water.
Oh,
It's really
100%.
exciting. As we approach and we're getting close to the summer and kicking off rehearsals, I'm wondering if there's I'm wondering what you are looking forward to this particular season.
Ooh, okay. Um, this is such a fun one because I'm looking forward to literally everything about this season. I'm looking forward to my favorite time is always what we call the first day of school, right? It's my favorite day. It's our very first day where we get in the room and you meet everyone. You kind of start putting faces to names. We sit down with scripts. We have these beautiful presentations from costumes and set and lighting and sound and you, and we talk through what things are going to look like. And we get to sort of hear where everyone's coming from on these big ideas. And the cool thing about the Grove is it is quite collaborative. You've always had this really lovely open door policy when it comes to artists being able to say, "Hey, I'd love to try this. What do you think about this?" So when I say everything, I'm ready to get started. I want to get in the room. I want to work with our choreographer. I want to work with our music director. I want to work with you. I love the Buddy Holly music. I absolutely, obviously, have a soft spot for the Broadway stuff. So the tributes will be super fun. The Canadian Legends show, I can't wait to see it on its feet. There are so many passionate people involved in this year's team, and yeah, so I certainly can't pick one thing I'm excited about. I'm just excited to get the ball rolling.
I love it. Yeah, I am excited too. It's a fantastic company, and the material that we're working on is really exciting. The Buddy Holly story has always been a favorite, and the tributes, all three of them are very different, and
Yeah.
they're just chock full of incredible songs. So it should be a ton of fun. Knowing the material and sort of getting ready for rehearsals, is there something in particular that you think that the audiences can really look forward to this year, in particular?
I think that not only are, as you say, the tributes so varied, so there's an Easter egg for everyone, right? Like there's something for everyone. Um, I think that first time walking in to the theater and sitting down and seeing the space, um, and the design of it is so. so beautiful in the sense that it could be anything, right? You walk through the woods and you sit down in this cedar grove, this like cut out amphitheater of wood and like natural beauty, and then all of a sudden these freaking lights come on and it just turns into this spectacle. But it can build there, right? Because we also have that lovely first act of natural light. Like we have a lot of beautiful kind of natural performances. Everything builds. So depending on what your interest is, there really is something for everyone this season. I think the thing that I would say, just wait for it. Wait for that sitting down and the show to start. Just wait for that feeling of when that beautiful grove turns into a theater, right? Because there's just nothing like it.
Yeah, it really is it's a spectacular space, and it's amazing how the lighting is incredible, and how, as you said, it
Yeah.
starts in the natural light, and everybody's in the same room and sharing the space, and then the theatrical lights take over, and then and before you get to that, you've got the sunset, and throughout the summer it
Ah,
changes, and
oh,
the timing is different. So every performance really is unique and special. It's exciting.
yeah, absolutely.
As we're working on a ton of music this summer between the Buddy Holly story and Canadian music legends and Beatles tribute and the best of Broadway as well, you've got some fantastic songs. You've got some
Yeah.
great songs. You have a few of my favorites for sure. It might change from day to day, but I'm just curious today, if there's one song in particular that you're excited about working on.
I'm a huge Joni Mitchell fan. I'm just a huge Joni Mitchell fan. I have been since I was a little kid. I think that she's just first and foremost a poet. And I'm very excited to get to sing a little Joni Mitchell. Um, I have a very long-standing history with Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. It's one of those songs that I think I heard the Katie Lang version of it uh, at some point and went, "Oh, that's what I want to sing." And then I was really lucky because obviously my dad's a musician and it was something that we started singing together. So I have a place in my heart for Hallelujah. When it comes to the Broadway stuff, I have a feeling there's some stuff from Company, which is really exciting. Also, I mean, I've done Company. I not in the role of the things that I will be singing in this show, but I did audition with Not Getting Married, which is an incredible patter song, if not one of the hardest patter songs ever. So thanks, Sean. Um, they and so I do know what we're about to take on. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what that looks like. My most favorite thing are usually duets. I
Mm.
like to sing with other people. I like to work with other people. Most of my love for theater comes from a melding of minds and that kind of thing. And vocally, I feel exactly the same way. I can't wait to hear these other voices and, get in a space and see what we can make. Um, so yeah, I wish I could say there was just one, but I've got a list of things I'm pumped about.
Oh, it's great. I love it. There's a couple songs in there that are just some of my favorites. So I'm thrilled that you're taking some of those on. So now we're going to do kind of a little thing that we started doing called our rapid fire favorites, where I just sort of rattle off a couple of some questions, sort of, and they can be your favorites now, or maybe just what's inspiring you at the moment. But it's just
Okay.
sort of a fun, kind of get together, get to know you party game type of a
Yeah. All
series of
right.
questions that are pretty quick,
Yeah, bring it on.
and whatever comes to mind first. But here, I'll have a quick sip of coffee.
Okay, I've got my tea. We're ready?
All right. All right. Rapid fire questions
Okay.
or rapid fire favorites. Um, Favorite band.
Ooh. Okay. The Avett Brothers, love them. Um, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, probably. Yeah.
Favorite solo artist.
Oh, Paul Simon, 100%.
Favorite movie?
Die Hard.
Favorite actor?
Gary Oldman or no, Gary Oldman. That's it. That's it.
Favorite book?
Oh, that's so hard. I just finished Circe. I think it's Madeline Miller. Really good. Circe, really, really good.
Favorite author?
Oh man. What if I can't answer? What if I can't answer? Do I
You could
have to
skip it.
answer?
No, you could skip it if
I'm
you
gonna
want.
come back to it. I'm gonna
Okay,
come
we'll
back.
go back.
Okay.
Favorite place to travel to or to visit?
Mm. Okay. So I spent a lot of time living away from home, obviously. So my answer used to be home because I just wanted to go home. Um, and so I saw some really beautiful places mostly through work. But um I'm actually getting married in September, and we have planned our honeymoon to go to Machu Picchu and do the hike in Peru, the Incan Trail. So currently that's on the list.
Very cool. Favorite after show ritual?
Oh, I mean, I run home as fast as I can. And usually I get home and I chat to my partner over a glass of wine. I debrief
Mhm.
about everything that went on during the show, and then I watch Law and Order.
That's great. Favorite mode of transportation?
If I could walk everywhere, that's what I would do. I only got my license when we moved back to Canada. I have been a train, plane, bus, but mostly walking human my whole life. So yeah.
Favorite past project?
Oh, oh, that's so hard. That's so hard. Everything's got its own like beautiful nugget of like the reason you love it the most, right? Um, I did Night of the Living Dead in London, England, and it was physically so taxing and it was very comedic, written by this amazing team of Canadians actually. And it was brought to life in a really weird monochromatic way. It was immersive. So physically, I mean, I got really bad whiplash. I was in horrible shape by the end of it, but it was a hard show in that way. Um, Big musicals like Frozen or, Mamma Mia, Funny Girl have their merit because the size, just the sheer size of it is a learning curve. Um, but I have to say, favorite. Oh, I don't have one. I don't have one project, but it's like all the projects that you see get built from almost like building something from nothing. The smaller the start, for me, the more emotional sort of input that you have into it. And sweat equity is worth 1,000,000% more than anything else. So for me, it's anything small that starts and gets bigger.
Favorite fantasy project?
Oh, okay. So this is sort of weird. This is sort of weird. I'm basically showing you how not cool I am. I'm so sorry. Um, so I have this I have this thing that I think um theater needs to be accessible to everyone, and the way that we make that accessible sometimes comes from opening our doors to people who may not have experienced the same things that we have. We put it together, we make something new, right? So my my little project in my back of my head has always been to do something called like an arts and minds festival, where it's like a place to create theater and also like to work on some new ideas for mindfulness and maybe some like visual art, and possibly combining like all of these versions of art and wellness to I don't know. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know. But the Passion Project is like a festival of arts and minds where people are doing yoga in a corner and like people are doing like body painting on the other side, and there's like a band playing, and so I don't know, someone's like hanging from silks. I don't really know. But either way, you're totally invited.
I love it. I want to go. That
Cool.
sounds incredible. And going back to favorite author.
Oh, okay. So I read a lot of like trashy novels when I was when I was younger, like probably far too young to be reading trashy novels. But a lady named Judith Krantz wrote a book called The Minstrel's Daughter, and it's about this family of women who go through basically it's like pre-World War II living in France and being a model, and then her daughter's story, and then the granddaughter's story. So possibly that, but also I was a really big fan of Leon Uris's Trinity,
Hmm.
probably for the same reason, because it shows kind of generational kind of, I don't know, development. That sounds so, I don't know. Those are for now. For now. Ask me tomorrow, it would be different.
Okay. Well, that's great. That's wonderful. Those I thank you for jumping in and doing that. I know it's a funny thing because you ask those questions and they change daily or weekly, especially when you're kind of taking in new things and working on projects and such. But thank
I
you for
felt
doing that.
genuinely like I thought I was gonna nail that. We came into it and I thought, you know what? Rapid fire, that feels right for my brain. And it wasn't. It was not. That was not, I didn't do well. I
It
can
was brilliant. It was fantastic. Thank you. That was incredible. Thank you for joining us for conversations from the Grove. My thanks to Jennifer Harding for joining with us and for being a company member once again. We really appreciate it. We've got some great shows this summer. There's Buddy, the Buddy Holly story, the Beatles tribute, Canadian music legends tribute, the Best of Broadway tribute, and we've got some fantastic guest artists. Logan Statz and Julian Taylor will be doing a really fantastic intimate show, just the two of them. The Stephen Page trio, Big Sugar, Jim Cuddy, Madison Kozak, Ron James. We've got some fantastic nights. So make sure you come out and spend a night at the Grove with us. Everything kicks off on Canada Day with Canadian music legends, a great way to celebrate the day and some fantastic music out of Canada. And then the Buddy Holly story opens the next week, and we have shows running all through July and August. So come and check out a show at the Grove. Tickets are at grovetheatre.ca, individual tickets or subscriptions, and you won't regret it. Come and hang out with us. Thank you.